Title of the book is Community Building, and the subtitle, Renewing Spirit and Learning in Business. What inspired me to write Community Building is the profound belief that the way we live out our organizational lives are too constrained, and that we're more acting out of habit than deliberate choice in the way we organize for work. And that when we compare the things that we truly want to do in the world and the way we want to be and relate, we can find that they're really incongruent with the way institutions are designed today. The intended readers for community building are those people who have an insight that the way organizations are now put together are not really adequate for the future, and those who are really pursuing a way to make the spirit of the place come alive and stay invigorated over a long period of time. We have to use many theories, tools, methods, practices in order to actually build spirit-filled organizations. And so we have to become more agile at moving from one way of building community to another. The book offers a way to diagnose organizations and to think whether you're using a comprehensive approach if you care to build community in your organization. So there are actually 7 major themes in the book. One has to do with the global context, what's happening outside your organization in the world that might be propelling you to consider these issues of community where before they were not relevant. There's an introduction to the use of technology as a central generator of modern community. And then some questions about the structural dimensions of community, the way you might be organizing, governing, or bringing together aspects of your infrastructure to build a sense of community in the workplace. And finally, there are some case studies. There's just some description here about, well, has anybody else done this, used this kind of approach, and had that turn out? There's a section in the book that has to do with skills and practices where you can say, well, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do on Tuesday? And how am I going to approach this in a tangible way? So there's a section to check whether you're, in fact, using some of the tools that others are. And then there's the interpersonal dimensions dealing with community. How are our relationships, our capacity to communicate, our capacity to deal with group dynamics, the stresses and conflicts of community. Conflict and discord are often seen as enemies of community, and that most people don't know they're actually quite friendly to spirit coming into community. It just requires a skill to recognize that it's one stage of a process that unfolds over time. We can actually learn to become large enough to include another person's position. And that capacity to become large enough is the central driver of how to build more inclusive and pluralistic communities. And when we master that inclusivity within ourselves and the group that we're working with, we routinely find that community just comes.